Yeah, run it up. Yeah. Went from MIA to LA on the run like I don't got an estate. Yeah. I went from LA to the A on the run, you can tell where I stay. Yeah. Counting all this paper, I chase no sleep, call me jet lag, baby. Yeah. Counting all this paper, I chase no sleep, call me jet lag, baby. Been 1,020, spent 100. Money come and gone, let's get straight to it. Been a businessman, it's bigger than music. I was on a new building with like 8 units. What's for sale, I might buy it all. Don't wanna put in work, now you just wanna ball. Got Louis bags with no money in them. Bigger the lie, the harder they fall. Fast route, for me it's always been a cash route. Bag route, spend some money, switch a piece of cash out. Always been a stand-up guy, never back down. Curry's on my team and got some pack outs. Went from MIA to LA on the run like I don't got an estate. Yeah, I went from LA to the A on the run, you can tell where I stay. Yeah, counting all this paper, I chase no sleep, call me jet lag, baby. Yeah, counting all this paper, I chase no sleep, call me jet lag, baby. Savior of my city like I'm Luke Cage. This is real life, you're ballin' 2K. I was just a young count loose change. Now I gotta come in 22 ways. 12's on me, no flu game. Same team, we the new wave. I told my baby come and get some. What's hers mine and she here to stay. I said, do you love me? Why not though? I know I'm on the go, I'm on the run, girl. For the money, with my batos. And no, I'm not from LA, I'm from New York. Upstate though, and we got dough. And we don't show no mercy, run the score. Prices on my head, so we got pose. Went from MIA to LA on the run like I don't got an estate. Yeah, I went from LA to the A on the run, you can tell where I stay. Yeah, counting all this paper, I chase no sleep, call me jet lag, baby. Yeah, counting all this paper, I chase no sleep, call me jet lag, baby. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, I...
What's up? What's up? How are we doing, guys? Let me know if you can hear me and all is good. And if you can see the stream, more importantly. First stream, so excuse any technical difficulties. Ah, nice. Sweet. All right. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining. I'm gonna run these streams. I decided to do these streams because I came up with the idea that pre-session we have some time, normally from 10 o'clock right here. This is like the 4-hour close. So it's a good time to have some discussion before we start our, initial session. And the second thing, which is a benefit, is I can basically explain to you what I'm looking at. Instead of sending the daily analysis, we can be on here live. And since we're on here live, we can discuss things. And the reason why I'm doing this pre-session is because a lot of people, when they stream, the biggest problem with streams is that if you copy my positions, copy what I do, and one thing you'll notice with streams is that the best trades are normally taken off stream. Follow any streamer online and you'll see their best trades are never taken live on stream because they just simply can't share everything for free, and I understand that, and also it's not always at the right time. So the reason why I'm starting these streams is because pre-session, what I want to do is to be able to show you guys my daily process, be able to be in contact daily, and also give you guys some value, some help. But the main thing why I cut the stream just before London Open is because, or before London session, is because once we discuss everything, the plan is set. So once the plan is set, you guys should have a clear idea of what you should be doing, what you're looking for. And then what you do with that is that you take that information and you have to build confidence, because confidence is the biggest part in trading. It is something when I first started trading, I struggled with. And as you increase your risk, you also still struggle with confidence. So that's what it's going to build. So if I cut the stream, I'm not there saying, okay, I'm taking a bite. The idea, the plan is laid out, and this is going to build confidence for you guys to execute the trades on yourself while having the support of discussing ideas with me and stuff like that. So that's the goal of this. I hope you guys agree with that goal and like what my plan is. And yeah, that's basically how I want to run it, basically. And yeah, let me know if you guys agree. Let me know if you think that's a good idea or if it's a really bad idea. But with that being said, the first things we do when we come to the charts is we're going to run the analysis, because that's how it works. So new week here, happy Monday. Very, very, very interesting here on the weekly candle. So if we notice here, this weekly candle came down towards our range lows here, and we saw a rejection closing up here towards the end of the day on Friday. NFP gave us a nice move towards the upside here. After that rejection, we ended up now opening this weekly without a bottom wick. Now opening without a bottom wick, and you can see it's a gap on other brokers. So on Owanda, on my personal broker, if I bring up my broker and have a look at that, it is, the weekly has opened. Let me see my broker. Yeah, weekly is opened the same as FXCM, so it's basically the same there. And you know, it's going to look something like this, which is messy, opening with a gap. And if it does open with a gap, you know, it is definitely creates some difficulties, because we normally see gaps being filled, but doesn't mean it has to be filled during the same day, right? And that's what's really, really important, is that don't expect it to be filled in the same day, you know, if the opportunity does not come, right? So if we're looking down here, you know, obviously we have a gap on this broker. If I show here, we will have these gaps. So going down to the daily, we can see we have this big gap. Now personally, I would like to see this gap, you know, somewhat sorted and somewhat filled. Yes, I am a scalper. I do scalp, and yeah, that's basically that. But we do want to see that this gap being filled, basically. And if we go down now, you know, daily did close bullish, previous daily bullish. Now this current daily bullish opened with a gap, as we know, pretty messy, but you know, we might see some more upside from here. Now pre-session, which is very, very important here. I keep switching because of these gaps. We'll use this for analysis and then go back to our charts. We can see we've had this wick that's sort of filled the gap. We might have a small gap within this zone here that needs to be totally filled, but we obviously have this 4-hour resistance that we're hovering around, and this is obviously our target. If we were looking for buys from the bottom of the range here, this is target 1. So does that mean we're going to sell down to the bottom of the range? No. Doesn't mean that we'll exactly sell to the bottom of the range, but since we're here, you know, it is a mixed session, and I just made a video about mixed session, so definitely worth to check that out. But technically this is a mixed session because we have 4-hour closing bearish, and we have daily closing bullish as well. So mixed session. So what do we look for? So obviously we have a 4-hour support here as well that we need to keep in mind. And when you're trading with gaps, you need structure to form, because there's not much to mark up here, right? We know we have this resistance, so buys, if we start pushing heavy today and we get above here, buys above here will start to make sense to fill into this zone here, and I would be quite interested in that. But there's no reason why we can't wait for pullbacks and look even to buy back up into this zone here, right? So we don't have to buy above here. We can look for pullbacks to buy into this zone, which would make sense to continue the daily, right? One 4-hour bearish candle doesn't mean that we're going to sell to the bottom of the range. If we're looking at the 1 hour and the 30-minute, there's so much structure in here that sells don't make sense, you know, long term, until we get, not long term, but to get to the bottom of the range, until we start closing below this 157,900. So we need to get below that 157,900. As for the gap here, yeah, it's always tough when we have gaps. You know, we could look for sells below this zone here, but what I would prefer to see is price break down. We see some sort of resistance below here to give us confidence that we can possibly tap into this area and then continue. Just selling below here, I've seen so many times fake outs happen in this zone, especially that this is the first structure of the day, right? So a lot of times you'll see fake outs happen in this zone. And this is where a lot of people will lose a trade because they're all chasing to try fill the gap, right? They're all like, all right, I'm trying to fill the gap here, and when they try fill the gap, they end up losing the trade. And then, you know, this is a common mistake that happens in the markets, and you need to follow structure. I mean, I remember many times last year that price pushed up 100 pips before coming back and filling a gap, you know. This is GJ. You can see it here on the bottom right of the screen. It says it's GJ. So that'll basically be the plan. We'll basically wait for structure to form. It's Monday. No need to force anything. It's not looking the best when it's always hard to buy at 4-hour resistance. You know, this market position is not the best, but we'll have to wait for more opportunities to come. Buying now is stupid to buy in this range. You can see how the down, you know, there's a lot of heavy bottom wicks, heavy top wicks. It's telling me that there's low volume. Price has to keep grabbing liquidity to give you a small move, right? A small move here, you know, 12 pips. I mean, in the last hour, basically, it's only moved 15 pips, so not really worth it, right? So definitely buys don't make sense at the moment, right? Even though we have this support, it's too early to buy. You can reject, and I mean, it's too risky, especially with the 4-hour open just now. You know, we have no confirmation. We need at least some more structure to go and retest these highs, but you know, we'll stick to this chart here, which I already have marked up, and this 4-hour support here, I can basically, I'll remove this line here. I'll keep this. Let's see how this looks. 1 hour, yeah, that's fine. Mark this as a 1-hour resistance here, and then we'll have a look at gold. Gold has had a lot of action, heavy downside moves on gold, so we'll have a look at gold now. So let's see gold. Yeah, again, gold with the gaps here, a very, very low volume. You can see how low volume this is on gold. Now, you know, let's remove these drawings here and start fresh analysis. All right, so let's go on the weekly. Weekly obviously will be closing heavy bearish here. Now, this is interesting. It's closing below this resistance here. So if we start trading and breaking this weekly low, really, you can see some more downside here on gold. Minimum pips, I think, worth taking. We need to have at least like a 30 pip range. 15 pips is enough, but now early in the morning spread is like 1 pip plus, so it's only like a 10 pip trade, you know, and your stop loss would be 20 pips. So you need a bit more than that to give you at least a good position, right? So let's have a look at gold here. So if gold breaks these lows for the weekly, you could see some heavy downside here. But I think we would need some more structure because daily is just this heavy push below here. We have this daily support we need to be careful of here. So we write this as daily support. And then the next daily support is going to be down here, right? So that's your next daily. So that's the daily marking up. So this is a zone we kind of have to watch for. Since this is behind the level, it's not going to be as important as this, but it's definitely a watch zone. We'll see how that looks on the 4-hour. 4-hour doesn't look much. I'm not going to really mark it at that point because it's just nothing on the 4-hour. But this is something right here, and you can see how that lines up. And this becomes our 4-hour support here. And yeah, rejecting off this area here, buys are not, no buys yet. You know, you need this daily to close a bullish minimum for buys. But if for sells, we also need a 4-hour resistance. So this will probably set up in New York for sells. If this 4-hour in London closes bearish, you could probably sell to retest these lows. For London session, we need more structure here. We probably need... Yeah, it's very, very tough to buy or sell right now. There's really, you know, this is a very heavy news move. And the biggest mistake people will make is they'll see this as a LTA and a clear zone to fill. Don't be fooled. You have to watch these levels here at the back, behind these levels, because this was caused by news. News does not care about any structure on the chart, and it's just going to push straight through that. So no one's really going to care about news, and you need to watch the levels behind. It's going to be very, very, very important. So we'll see how this ends up, you know, forming. We'll wait for structure. That's the best thing before you can look for buys or sells. It is a sort of mixed session because we have nice 4-hour support, but daily and weekly is very bearish. So maybe we have more of a pullback before further downside, but for now we need to just wait and be patient. You know, this is where everyone, after a big move over the week, big move on Friday, big move here on Thursday as well. People start getting excited and they think that we're going to have the same move today. It's possible, but you can't get excited. It's very common after a big move to see range like this before a next breakdown. So you can expect something in between here and possibly a breakup or a breakdown, you know, based on what we have. So we'll have to play it like that, to be honest, you know. So yeah, now that's basically analysis done. We know what we're looking for, and now it's a game of patience, you know, patience and see what happens, right? And yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Feel free to chat, discuss. This week is going to be a slow week. I don't really think it will be a slow week. I think we've had nice volume. The only risk we have on GJ is pulling back into this really dirty range we have in here, right? So if we pull back into this dirty range, it's not really looking the best. But, you know, we've had some volumes on the chart here. I don't see why this is going to be a slow week. Maybe for gold, it's possible for gold. I see that happening. But I think GJ has some opportunity this week. Midweek, definitely. I mean, I don't see why it would be an issue. See if we need to see what we have. This is that. Okay. Let's mark out where this 4-hour low is. So if we take this, bring my tools. 4-hour low is here. All right. This is important because for sells, we need to break this 4-hour low. It gives us more confidence because you notice most of the time reversals are when the 4-hour low is not broken. For example, something like this creates a support, low is respected, price goes up. Resistance, low is respected, price goes up. Where's another example here? Let's see. Low is respected, price went up, created support after the low is respected. So if this low is respected, that's when buys are going to make more sense. Would I take a look into trade indices? Yes, I don't mind, but the issue is, the reason I don't trade indices is because I'm in London session. And I don't really want to be trading indices in London session like US 30 and stuff like that. Because I do have a look at them, but I don't really want to trade them in London session because they move the best in New York, you know, so that's why. But if you want me to have a look at it analysis wise, I also don't mind. So let's see on the 30-minute what this, yeah, so this low is going to be, yeah, that's a crucial low, this 4-hour low here. People selling into this low is going to be an issue. As you said, buying into the 30-minute resistance here, it's a possibility, you can take it, but the issue is it's just I need to see more structure. You have to understand on the other brokerage here, it's a very dirty zone. This is full of gaps. We have a gap here, gap here, gap here. You know, what's the range? 36 pips for 27 pips. So, you know, it's like a 1-to-1. You could hold stops below here 15. Definitely is an option. I would prefer to see a close above here. But it's Monday, so it's not, I'm not really in a rush to trade earlier, but yeah, it is an option to test the highs. But I think it would be better if you guys waited for this 15 at least to close above here. You see this resistance? Because this has been a really tough zone here, you know. If we look at lower time frame structure, very messy structure. Pullbacks, pullbacks, pull. You can see it's low volume. So the issue you have taking this trade is for it to be worth it, you need to get at least up to these zones here, you know. And if you get up to these zones, 23 pip zone, for example, if you're getting up to this zone here, and if you don't fail before, which is the problem going into volume time, if we see this area become a rejection zone, we have this as a rejection, this is rejection, possible rejection here, then you're going to be in a sticky position, right? You're not going to really be in a position you want to hold. You can just see how tough, look how tough the structure is. We're not getting, look at the difference when you have volume and when you don't have volume. A move with volume, look how this moves with volume, you see? We have nice moves. We want to be in these moves. Volume, 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 volume. Right? That's the moves you want to be involved in. These type of moves. You don't want to be involved in stuff like this. That is boring. And that is where you lose. And look at the volume now. It's working, but it's going up really slowly here. Doing basically nothing. So you don't really want to be involved in this. Because you're not seeing a volume push, you're not seeing consistent move in the market, and at any time you could get a deep pullback, take out your stops, and you'd be done. So if you're going to take this trade, you need to hold stops deep. You have to hold stops below here, because this could do this and then continue up, you know. When looking left, can you go 6 months? No, just look at immediate. If it's like 6 months ago, wait for a target, right? Why did I switch from crypto to Forex? Well, the problem with crypto for me is that there was no consistent time of volume. It was quite random. Like if you notice, if we mark out London session, we will see consistent volume pushes during London, right? London session here. Next volume push was London session here, you know, so you're seeing consistent volume during London. But with Bitcoin, the volume was just random throughout the day. Sometimes it would come in New York, sometimes in London. And all of these wicks make it very, very difficult to trade. But definitely there's an option for it to trade, but you have to be patient with Bitcoin sometimes, especially when you get stuck in ranges like this. Like this is from 6 o'clock till, 12 o'clock. If you're stuck in a range, that's way past... Yeah, I can make the screen bigger. Give me a sec. Let me know if this... Is that better? Let me know if that is better. And yeah, that's the problem with Bitcoin. I mean, looking at Bitcoin here, weekly time frame, we have created resistance. We ideally need to break these weekly lows to continue down further. Daily is in this range, so even a daily closure below this range I don't think will give us the continuation. I think we need a closure below these wicks here, which I'm sure is going to be a support somewhere, so yeah, definitely it will be typical to see this come here and then do that. That's typical of Bitcoin, to give you that type of liquidity grab. But if we see a closure, I need to see a deep closure, retest and continue down, and then we'll get a heavy downside move. But for now, we're just in a range. So potential change of characters from the bottom of the range here is an option, actually, where we're trading now. If you're trading Bitcoin, potential change of characters from here, it does make sense on maybe 30-minute. You can see how that, it's held true. So I don't see why. Maybe one more dip and then close back above and you can continue bullish. I'll just zoom in my chart a lot more like this to make it clearer for you guys. Like this. That should be better for you guys. So again here with Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, GJ, sorry. It's just moving up really slowly here. If you take an entry here like this, breaking these highs, your stop loss would have to be here, which is 29 pips. Not really worth it. You could run it here, but if you become wrong, it's gonna suck. Your target is actually this wick first. That's your first target, this rejection zone, because this is giving you a lot of information here. This obviously happened, right? This happened for a reason. So where you're gonna target? You're gonna target here first before targeting the top of the range, because you don't know if you're gonna have the same reaction from that zone or a little bit higher like that. So it's important to keep your eyes on that, right? But remember, in the beginning of the analysis, I said how if we get above this zone, start closing above, it could be an option again. But yeah, you see it's quite weak here, quite weak. Yeah, below 5 minute structure, you see, the problem is that if this becomes the resistance and you get a deep pullback at like 11 o'clock or something like this, it's gonna take your stops. You know, you need minimum here, I would say. This is safe because of the low volume. The higher volume, the tighter stops you can run because, you know, you expect it to continue in your direction. I'm not saying run a 2-3 pip stop. It's not really smart to run a 2-3 pip stop. But with more volume, you can rely on this structure to hold. But now there's always the risk of it just, you know, dumping down pretty quick. And then you're in a sticky position, you know what I mean? Which is exactly what you don't want. Anyone took these buys? I wonder if someone took these buys. Personally, not for me. Also too early. Yeah, not really the best position to be taking GJ buys yet. Remember, we have the whole week. I always see people in a huge rush to take a. In fact, you want to sell. Nice. Where do you want to sell GJ? Let me guess. You want to sell GJ below 158, 660. That's my guess. That's where you want to sell GJ. Yeah, good call, Ian. That's my point. You have to see volume to take a trade because now you're in a trade and it's doing nothing. You're not seeing continuation. You know, it's like you want to see some movement, even if it's in drawdown. People get scared of drawdown, but if I see quick movement towards the downside, I know that there's movement in the chart. So just as quickly as it moved down, it can also move up, right? And then that's basically the power of volume, right? So people get scared when they're taking a trade during volume and it quickly goes in drawdown. Just remember that the same time it went in drawdown, it can go back in profit and continue, you know? Yeah, Dante, GJ has been quite shitty these days. Especially when we were stuck in this range. Oh my days. This range up here, really boring to trade in here. Really boring. Super inconsistent. Now news gave us the breakout. Hopefully we can get continuation. For gold, we talked about gold in the beginning of the stream. So if you're new here, welcome. Nice to have you, of course. But definitely check out the beginning of the stream or show up. We start 10 a.m. Dubai time, so that's GST every single day. So if you show up at that time, you can look for that analysis. 1 hour time frame on gold. You know, breaking this high here. What time? 10:26. Let's have a look. What is this here? $14 pip range. Up to here is a 40 pip range. Yeah, I mean, the low looks bullish, you know, especially if you get this 1 hour closing above here, you know, upside makes sense for sure. For sure, upside makes sense. But the problem is that we need volume to continue here, you know. We don't want London session to come and then just dump this down, you know. So I think if this 1 hour closes bullish above here, any pullbacks you can look for continuation, you know. Even this 15 minute here in 2 minutes could be an option on gold, to be honest. An early option. If this 15 minute closes above here, you have this range here. 20 pip range, potentially a 40 pip range. So I think this could be a buy option, to be honest now. If gold closes above here, I think you can see buys towards the top of the range. But you'll need the close here. is, even if this goes without the close, it's not really worth it. And that will also be the 30-minute close. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, that could definitely be a buy position here. It doesn't have to fill the gap today, you know, but most gaps will eventually get filled, but that doesn't have to necessarily happen today, you know. If you're enjoying the stream, if you would give it a like, I'd really appreciate it. Definitely helps get this out to people so that they can benefit from it and benefit from this new concept of talking about the ideas before the session. So we talk about the ideas before the session, and then you guys have to build the confidence to execute on it, you know. Nice, Jaron. Yeah, for sure. It is definitely, GBP is a good pair to trade during the London session. Makes sense, doesn't it? GU, what's going on with GU? Let's have a look at GU. Wow. Weekly on GU, could this be the reversal point to take us back down to the lows? We are at support here on GU. Let's see what the daily is saying. Daily with this gap. I think GU is looking a little bit like gold, actually. You know, it's looking very similar to gold. So if this creates resistance by New York, if we're seeing rejection here, possibly can continue down and continue down further. 1 hour as well. Kind of rangy. Wouldn't really want to trade it yet. Yeah, trader, no, this will be uploaded, so you can definitely watch over that. If you have any questions, it's alright, you can ask. This close above? Yeah, it did close above. Alright, 15 closed above here on gold. It's quite a nice closure. We are seeing a little bit of volume here. We have 20 pip range here. You would run a 14 pip stop. Safe stop is a 20 pip stop. If you are watching gold, this would be an option, you know, to take buys to continue up to the top of the range here. For me, I don't trade gold on Mondays, especially after a news move like this, so I'll not be involved. But any other day, this is definitely a setup I would look for as you break these highs here on the 15 minutes. So as this candle flips and breaks the highs, this could be a long position. As you break the highs, give it a little bit of space. I don't know why my stop loss is that low. You know, that definitely, it could be an option. If it breaks these lows, then that is something completely different. That would be your max TP in my opinion. Looks like my camera has gone off for some reason. Let me try fix up another camera. Give me a sec. Just fixing up another camera here. See if we can get this sorted. Hi, what's your age? Thanks for the question. I am 12 years old, man. 12 years old. Started trading when I was 6 years old, and I'm not 12. In my 20s, in my 20s. Marital status. Hey, come on, guys. I can't give you all the secrets. Let me see if I can get this camera up. Give me a sec. Confirmation for GJ. Don't know, I'm trying to fix my camera. I'll get it fixed for next session. There's always going to be these technical difficulties in these first sessions. You know what it's like. Yeah, GJ, I said the analysis during the beginning of the session. This is what I don't want to be involved in, these pullbacks. People were looking, asking if buys make sense. They do make sense off this 1 hour support, but again, this range is very tight. And if you look at this is a gap zone. This is a very messy zone. We need to kind of see more volume come into the markets. If you look at the lower time frame, 5 minute, it's, pullback, push up, heavy pullback, push up. So if you are going to hold, you have to hold stops maybe below somewhere here, and then look to hold this trade and just be patient with it. Not really a trade I want to take on Monday, and the range is too small for me. You're only up 6 pips here with spread, and the way price is moving, it's really nothing, Why do I live in Dubai? Am I from there? I was born here, man. I was raised here in Dubai, so it's also good for traders. It is a very good place for traders. I mean, it's 10:30 now in London, so in Dubai, so it's great to trade. London session, New York session here is around 4:30 or 5:30, depending on the time zone shifts. So it definitely is a good time to trade. What else we got? Seems like you're older, then you know everything better than just like, yes, tax-free, yes sir. Seems like I'm older, know everything better, like from the 60th mentally people. Try my best, man, to build knowledge and information. It's a very useful skill that many people take for granted. They think that, we have so much access to technology now, so much opportunities to learn, but people are just lazy to do it, right? They're lazy to take action with themselves and, get better, right? So who is my mentor? A lot of people were my mentor. I never had one specific mentor that I sat with and learned directly from. I've had, I originally but saw trading from someone called Eric Crown. He was a crypto trader. Then I watched various YouTube videos. Then I learned about price action, and then I followed on price action. And then, I learned from people, various amounts of people. Learned good stuff from someone called Trade with Monty. He's a good trader and stuff like that. Can you download the video after this live session has ended? If you want to, yeah, but you can just watch it off YouTube. It's your choice. It will be on YouTube. What are my thoughts on order blocks? Now, this is a touchy subject. For me, I don't personally trade order blocks. It is a smart money concept. I have plenty of videos explaining my thoughts about smart money concept. I have nothing against smart money concept. I just personally think that unless you are looking for that specific, it's okay to trade if you're just trading order blocks, but then you are also missing a lot of other opportunities. And if you don't understand order blocks, if order blocks are very complicated for you, then I would highly recommend you don't trade order blocks, because you don't force yourself to learn something because it sounds complicated, right? Make things easy. Trading should be easy, right? That's very, very, very important. Look, I got a camera running now. Good. There we go. Let's see if I can add a filter to this. Filters, add effect filter, mask. Okay. Browse. Let's see. Good. All right, we're back with the camera. Good to see. Always the first stream, you know what it's like, guys. First stream, always gonna have a few difficulties here and there. If I keep looking up, it's because it's my second monitor up there. I'm anticipating sells for USD Swiss franc. What's my thoughts on it? Well, you know, you can always send a chart. If you click this icon at the top right of Tradingview, you get something that says copy chart image, and you can paste that in the chat. But I'll have a look since we have nothing on the charts at the moment. Ugh. Weekly time frame looks very bad. I like this rejection though, I have to say. This rejection is quite nice. You know? Daily bullish. 4 hour. Bearish. Yeah, sells can make sense. I think it's a little bit early, but selling from the top of the range. I would like to see a change of character. I have a video on my YouTube called change of character video, or CHOCH. That would be ideal from this situation, right? I think sells on this pair will be good if you get a closure below this area here, right? If you get a close below this area here, I think you have a 10 pip range and possibly continue till here, right? But you need a close below this area right here, right? See what's happening with gold. See, gold completely dumped, did not break the highs. Very important. I said we need to break the highs. This is exactly when people get messed up, and why I particularly said I'm not trading gold in this current position. We need more structure. GJ done nothing, and this is why you have to be patient. You live in Dubai too? Nice, man. Do I trade NY and Asian or only London session? I trade London session, but if I'm not busy in the afternoon, I might trade New York session sometimes. It depends. Right, so now look, we're getting closer to 11 o'clock. Some volume coming into GJ here. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. So this was target number 1, as I said, at these highs here. But a bit early for me to take a trade. No need to rush anything. At one point, do we validate the gold trade? It's pretty much, this closes in 2 minutes, so it's pretty much invalidated now. This is your new resistance. You need the 1 hour to close above here. That's the next thing. Looks like the 1 hour wants to create resistance here. So yeah, you need the 1 hour to. This is probably already invalidated. I doubt, it's very unlikely that this suddenly flips and continues bullish. Max number of trades I take per day. Max number of trades I take per day is 3. If I take 2 losses in a row, I stop trading. But normally if I take one good win, once you start risking more in the markets, you don't need to take many trades. You take one good win during the day, you call it a day. Get on with your day. The less time we spend at the charts, the less mistake, the less stress, the easier this task becomes. Don't overcomplicate something that is very, very complicated. Try make it as easy as possible. Make things to your advantage, and the way to make things in your advantage is to basically make things easier, right? And taking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trades a day is just going to make things way too hard. Because what if 3 are losses? Then you have to take another 3 wins, and then you have to take. But if you just take 1, 2, 3 trades, maybe 2 wins, call it a day. If it's a small win, you might take an hour. Maybe the chart's moving so good, you want to take 2 trades. But sometimes if the chart is just moving averagely, just take 1 trade and get on with your day. People will tell me, oh, I need to take more trades because I risk less and I don't make enough money. I say, okay, I don't make enough money trading. Well, who's that to blame? When people start to understand that if me and you both take the same trade from this area here, we took a buy from here to here, and this 15 pips, maybe you're using a 0.1 or a 1 lot, or someone else is using a 10 lot, you're both taking the same trade. Since someone make 1,500 but you made $100, doesn't mean you're a worse trader, just means you risk less. Do I still get emotional on a losing and winning trade? I wouldn't say I do get annoyed on losing trades. I think that will always stay with you, but I understand it's part of the game. Like, I feel kind of neutral when I lose a trade. It's just like, come on, like, you don't really want to lose a trade. It kind of hurts the ego more than anything. It's like, why did I lose? What did I do wrong? And sometimes it's probability, but I don't really think about it. You move on to the next trade. Next day, every day is a new day and a new trade. Forget about all your losses. But I mean, if you're taking loss back to back to back, you're doing something wrong. But you have to move fresh. You can't think, I need to take a trade to make back that loss, because that's where you're going to lose in the long term. How long did it take me to become neutral in trading? I mean, when I increase risk, I'm still not neutral sometimes. You still feel it. There's a lot of people who will tell you to be calm in trading, and trading is easy if you're calm, and everything is. This is all cap, man. It's bullshit. I can honestly say that if you're someone who's pushing yourself in the market to be better every single day, that pressure alone is enough to give you stress in trading. No matter what you're risking, I don't care what you're risking, but the pressure to be better in the markets is definitely going to keep adding pressure. And to say that you're relaxed trading and don't feel anything, you will feel something. The way you manage it, yeah, that's a big difference. The way your mindset is of how you feel and how things are, yeah, that will make a huge difference once you gain experience, a year trading, 2 years trading. But just in terms of feeling stressed and wanting to be better, you will always have that feeling. For UJ, let's have a look at UJ. Yeah, same type of situation here. Weekly time frame, nice bullish close. Daily time frame, at this resistance again. 4 hour also close to resistance. Yeah, it's kind of similar as GJ, to be honest. We're at this support now. We're trying to bounce out of this support, and we're doing it super slowly. We're rejecting. I probably think UJ, if at around in 30 minutes or 40 minutes, if we start getting closures above here, there's a possibility to buy. But is it worth it? 13 pips, potential target of 35. You could try buys above this zone, basically. That would be where I would be looking for on UJ. Losing is your position to winning. Yeah, every loss is a lesson. There's no such thing as a loss. It's just a lesson. You either, and people say, no, that's cap. What do you mean every loss is a lesson? Well, even if you're just losing money because you're gambling, you're going to learn the lesson not to gamble. Even if you're losing money because you're doing something stupid, you're going to learn not to be stupid. Even if you're just losing money because you don't care and you're just trying to do something, you're going to learn that at some point, this is not the right way to approach things and you have to get better, right? So you are learning every time you take a loss. And then the easiest way, you also learn how to take a loss eventually. Yeah, thanks, man. Push the likes. It's the YouTube stuff, man. It's really annoying to say. It sounds so cheesy. Oh, press the like, subscribe. I mean, but otherwise, you don't get anywhere. No one gets to see this. No one gets to listen to this. People get stuck paying for courses that don't work, and we never solve this Forex issue, right? People don't get good education. People don't understand what real trading is, and it ends up all a big drama. You know what I would love to see? I would love to see this reject here before London, and we create some sort of support here, and we trade back to this high. I would take that for sure. So that's basically the plan going into London, is if we do get a pullback from this zone, we pull back, we create some sort of support, 15-minute, 30-minute closure, we can retest this high and continue. Because that will give me the confidence. Because if you're buying now, you're buying after how many green candles here, right? You're buying after already a pretty decent move, right? From here to here. You're buying the highs, basically. Yeah, we'll be on tomorrow. Free solo? No, never heard of free solo. What's free solo? Gold buys. Man, too much panic with gold. Relax. Wait for closures, man. This is... Relax, Mike, you know? You need to relax. Wait for closures. 9 minutes till this 30-minute. This 30-minute closes above. Yeah, can have some continuation. Remember, the 1 hour is going to be a nice closure. Just wait for the 1 hour. Wait for the 1 hour to close above here. And if it closes above here, 9 minutes, take a trade. If it pushes up without you and it's closed somewhere here, too bad, you know? Unless you trade the 5-minute. You can't keep adjusting your rules to fit the market all the time. You have to have rules that work and trade your rules. You know, you can't say, oh, price is moving fast now. I have to trade the 1 minute to catch this. It's like, no, you should have been in from a different zone. Don't try manipulate your plan to fit the market. Make sure that your plan fits the market. That's the most important. If you're really impatient and you want to trade 5-minute, you wait for a 5-minute closure above here. But expect drawdown. I'm just saying. 1 hour candle open can give you heavy pullback, especially on gold. Guys need to understand how gold moves. Especially during London. London can give you heavy pullbacks. You need to wait for a higher time frame structure. New York session, I'll tell you, yeah, wait for 5-minute candle closure and go. London session, you need to wait for solid closure. Remember what I said? Let's see if this happens. We get the pullback pre-London. Typical pre-London to see a pullback and then continuation. But yeah, you know, you just have to be patient in trading. People always chasing, looking for trades, waiting for the next signal. Build confidence in trading. It will take you very far. Because if you can't build confidence to even take a trade because you're watching all these streamers, I know you guys there in chat, You're gonna finish this stream, you're gonna go find another stream, and I know how it's gonna work, you know. And then you don't build confidence to take a trade. If you can't even build confidence to take a trade, where are you gonna build confidence to increase your risk? You tell me. Do I use buy or sell or pending orders? Let's say I wanted to take a trade on this candle flip here. I would use a buy stop just to enter me without needing to worry. So I'd use a buy stop. But if price is making a bottom wick and I plan to enter on the flip, I'll just press, you know, one click trading at the top of the broker and just press buy or sell, whatever I'm taking. But I prefer buy stops and sell stops. A lot more comfort, a lot more easier. You just place them and wait. But just make sure to place them, you know, counting spread. Otherwise you get triggered early and then I've had that before. You get triggered straight into drawdown. There can happen everything. Yeah, gold is in a range. Gold is in this range here. It's doing nothing. It went from the top of the range to the bottom. Now it went from the bottom to the middle. Unless you trade a 1 minute, there's nothing interesting here. What we looking for? Everything, brother. We're looking for everything. Buy, sell, sideways, forwards, backwards, upside down, everything. Yeah, we're learning patience for sure. This is how it works, man. This is why I'm doing the pre-session stream. Pre-session stream is to plan for the session. Because now in like a minute or so I'm gonna close the stream. I'll be in the group, so my group is in the description, and I want to see if you guys take the positions we talked about in stream. This is your job, to build confidence. This is not a normal stream format. This is a new stream format, and you guys have to see if you will execute on this. Exactly, you do have to. Alright, so basically I'm going to wrap up the stream here, and I'm going to explain my final ideas. I'll be in the group and chatting with some of the members. For people in the TS program, setup number 2's looking ideal in this scenario. Basically for GJ, what I want to see is sells. I'm not going to be the first person to sell. I don't mind missing the sells, but if you do see resistance below here, there is an option to sell into this zone, which is a gap on your broker, right? For buys, if we continue, remember the gap does not have to be filled today, right? It does not have to be filled. If we see a pullback here and supports being created, we could potentially take buys to retest this high and continue, and maybe New York comes and fills the gap eventually. All right, so that's the plan, what I'm looking for on GJ. For gold here, I'm waiting for the 1 hour close. If you want to take buys on gold, again, I'm not really interested in gold today because of this heavy news move. I need to see more structure on gold before making any opinion. But people, if you are looking for buys, you can wait for a close above here on the 1 hour. Breaking the highs should hopefully give you some continuation to get into a trade. And yeah, that's basically it. Pretty simple plan, clear plan. And with that being said, I'll probably leave you guys off. We've had spamming. Please don't spam. Please don't spam, man. I don't appreciate your spam. I will answer your questions. If I don't answer your question here, you know you can ask in the group. I've seen you in the group a lot. At what point do I delete my buy stop in case it's not triggered? If it breaks the low, say my buy stop was at the break of the high here, but it breaks this low, then the trade is invalid. You know, the trade, whenever your trade becomes invalid, basically where your stop loss is on the trade, if price reaches your stop loss before you even entered because of your buy stop, the trade's invalid, delete it, move on. It's a new idea, wait for more structure. But anyways, guys, with that being said, take care. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the pre-session streams. It's in the description, man. You can join. Link is in the description. Telegram or Discord, both the same. I prefer Discord a lot better. And yeah.